Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a steel potato. It's a BDR G1 B. It's a tier 5 French heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn of Murovanka and it's under the command of Fluffylilkitten of REBRN. Now, game started. Now, believe it or not, this is the first game that Fluffy has played in this tank. So he's still got, well, he's actually got the top gun, the 90mm. So I suspect that he actually free XP'd his way to that gun because it is the top gun. And that's what makes this tank really good, the 90mm, because it's capable of 240 alpha at tier 5. And that makes a huge difference because normally you get that sort of performance at tier 8, let alone tier 5. Well, Steel Potato is named because it's potato shaped, you could say. And it doesn't have really great armor, but it is sort of like along the same sort of line as the D2 and the other heavy tanks that the French have produced, or not heavy tanks, but heavily armored tanks. And you can see with that first shot, he got a nice amount of hit points, 250, high roll. And we've now got a Panzer 4D, he'll go straight through that, yep, no problem at all. You see the amount of damage it does to these enemy tanks with just one shot. Reload is quite good, 7.43 seconds, which is not bad considering this is a 90mm gun. Remember, you're looking at a shell which is actually probably on a par with the 88 of a Tiger, so it's a very big shell to load. Fires one in. Oh, he didn't get through the armor of the KV-220, but that's a tier 7 hull, and that's where he aimed it. Okay, needs to get some shells into these tanks, and takes the hit, so without one round. But he is starting to attract fire from the enemy. He bounced around from a 25 TP and bounced another round from an IKV. Now he can take the M3 out, but he misses the chance. And he's just been hit by Arty. Doesn't show where he hit it, but he's going to go for the Panzer 4D and takes him out. Now he's taking fire from that 25 TP and it's penetrating. Of course, the 25 TP is now firing... well, he's only firing standard AP actually, so he must have changed his position or what he's fired at. Somebody just fired a heat round at him. Ah, it was the IKV who hired heat. Okay, he's locked onto that 25 TP, didn't penetrate. Thankfully, the KV-220's gone down. Now, that's probably the only tank he could have difficulty with. And he takes out the 25 TP with one shot on auto aim. Now, can he do the same to that 38 NA? And he does. So 4 kills so far for Fluffy. Their team's ahead by 1 tank. And remember, this is his first game in this tank. Now the standard gun you can actually get, the stock gun, is a 75mm. It's not that good actually. So it does pay to free XP to the 90mm because it's so much better. Okay, we've got an A-20, which is a Soviet light tank over there, and an 85B tank destroyer. One shot in, average roll. Doesn't really want to get hit by that 85mm gun if he can help it. There's the IKV. Now the team is down by 1 tank, so obviously the guys who moved forward didn't actually capitalize on what they did and they ended up getting killed. It rather looks like we've got a bit of a problem over on the east side of the map. We've got our Excelsior over there and he's holding off that A-20 at the moment, but there's a Churchill 3 over there as well. And Churchill 3 is supposedly in the Magic Forest. And I don't think that Fluffy wants to engage the Churchill 3 just yet, so he's going towards the back of the map to try and get around that Churchill 3 so he can engage the A-20 with the Excelsior. Some nice friendly ridge lines here which can protect him. This tank is quite tall, and that cupola is actually a bit of a carbuncle because that is a weak spot. Okay, he's changing his ammo to HE. I think he's expecting either the IKV. Oh, why did he do that? He just fired one round at that barn structure to try and knock it down. You try to fire at the middle of barn structures because that will take them down. And he's taken down the barn structure. But he's now loading the APCR again. I think he was concerned about somebody might be capping in the cap. And so he wanted to take away any hiding place for them. Oh, and our Panzersetzfahrerfährte is taking fire from the enemy. So he's obviously been spotted. And he's gone. Okay, so this is not good. How did they spot him? He was actually in a position where he shouldn't have been spotted. And there's the A20. So he swapped sides of the battlefield. Hopefully the Hetzer will be able to act and tell us where he is. Unfortunately, that other house is in the way. And there's the Churchill 3. So he swapped sides as well. First round does 262, a high roll. You'll take at least 2 more shots to kill him. Yep, that's a high roll. So next shot is a kill shot. Only switch to the SU-85. And he gets the kill. That's his 5th kill. If we can get one more, it's a Top Gun. Change position just slightly, darling. And no, didn't get contact. Oh, and we've just lost our Matilda to the Churchill. But I'm not sure the Churchill knows or can see where we are at this moment in time. He may know that we're over here, but the problem is that can he do anything about it without getting killed in the process? Now it actually sort of does make sense knocking down that barn, because it does give you 3 lines of sight on what's going on near the cap. The Excelsior is holding the east side of the map, and he really should come over this side. I'm wondering if that Excelsior player is a bit of a noob. Yes, I think he is. I have a feeling he is a bit of a noob, so he didn't know what to do. But he is joining Fluffy now to try and defend the cap. So it's 2 against 5. It would be a good idea if the Excelsior moved closer to the cap but stayed behind some of the bushes. Off to the left. To the right, rather. Oh, it's been hit by the Churchill. And that's who was spotting him. And the IKV goes down. So that's his Top Gun. Oh, and he's taken another round from a T40. And he kills the Churchill 3. But he's taking fire from that T40. And he's down to just 1 hit point. And oh, it's all over. And there's just the Excelsior left. And I don't think the Excelsior will live very long. He's up against 3 opponents, one of which includes that T40, who is pumping round after round into Fluffy. He needs to use the wreck as cover, and he's not doing it. Well, I suppose he's trying to position the wreck, but you need to get behind it, Sunshine. Don't sit in front of him. Sit behind him. Behind. Oh dear. It's like he's defending a wreck. Dear. Yes, I think this is a noob. Well, we've all been there, but I suppose he will learn eventually. It's only a matter of time now before he's killed. It's going to take a couple of shots for that T40 to do it, but yes, he will get it. This is one of these moments where it does actually help if the experienced players in chat can actually send messages to say, sit behind the wreck, not in front of it. I also have a sneaking suspicion that maybe the enemy might be trying to come up the east side of the map now to catch the Excelsior whilst he's behind the wreck. And that may be what the A20 is doing. If he can get sight of the Excelsior from those bushes over there, then the enemy Arty, the Panzersetzfahrerfährte and the T40 combined can start laying down fire. It's not bad for Fluffy to get a Top Gun on his first outing in a fresh tank. Oh, I think a part of the problem from the Excelsior is the fact that he is ammo-racked. Actually, he doesn't appear to have a toolkit to actually repair that. If so, his reload time is going to be quite awful. In fact, in many ways, he's behaving like a bot would, although he doesn't appear to have a bot's number to him. Normally they have a semicolon to indicate that they are a bot. Well, there's the T40, and he's now got shots, but again, the Excelsior is not sitting behind the wreck, and he's been damaged, and I think this is going to be the end of the game. Yep. Such a pity. Well, he'll learn eventually. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And, well, it was a first-class tanker for Fluffylilkitten in the BDR G1 B, and that's his first game, so he actually gets the scrolls underneath saying it was the highest rank that he's achieved so far in this vehicle. He also got a duelist and a fire for effect out of the minor medals. Out of the epic ones, he picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in that battle, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. And the win rate for that game was 9,318, which is very good indeed. And you actually have to scroll the page to see all the targets that he actually hit or that hit him. And if we look at the team score, we can see top of the table, 2,086 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was the Churchill 3 with 1,499, and after that it was that KV222 with 1,041. When it came to kills, again it's Fluffy with 7 kills. The next highest scorer, the Churchill 3 with 4, and the IKV103 with 3, as well as their Panzerseb's Falafetta. And when it came to base XP, it was actually the Churchill 3 who got the highest amount, 1235. Then the KV222 with 810 and the IKV103 with 594. But Fluffy wasn't far behind the third place person with 583 base experience points. He fired 19 rounds, got 14 direct hits and 12 penetrations, damage of 2,086 hit points, of which 1,138 were at more than 300 meters. So he did do a lot of long range shooting. He received 11 hits from the enemy, 7 were penetrations, 3 non-penetrations, and 3 hits by way of splash damage from enemy Arty. He blocked damage of 570, spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 7 of them, and he earned, made a loss of 47,143 credits from that game, and that's with the Courageous Resistance Award for getting an epic medal. I think that's because he did fire a lot of APCR during the game. He also picked up 2 bonds, one for the high caliber, one for the top gun, and he also took away 1,380 experience points as well. So literally his first game, as he says, very well done for first game. I'm sure that your following games will actually be a lot better in this tank, because now you've got the hang of it, you'll know exactly what to do. Very low armor, very long range shooting with a lovely 19mm gun. You can take out most of the enemy team from distance and not have to worry about return shots. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button so that you don't miss any of the replays. We put up tank replays and Arty replays. In fact, we're probably the only channel on YouTube that does feature Arty games on a regular basis. Thanks for watching.